professional peers, and a useful roadmap to help others escape the darkness of extremism. Christian Picciolini, April 20th, 2019, Chicago, Illinois, USA.
Forward by Malcolm Nance. On the morning of April 19, 1995, a young U.S. Army veteran drove a Ryder truck filled with 4,500 pounds of improvised explosives made from ammonium nitrate fertilizer and high-octane racing car fuel to Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. He calmly parked the truck in front of the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building and lit the fuse. Weeks before, Timothy McVeigh had done the same thing in a dry run. That time, he walked up the steps into the building and past the child care center full of children belonging to federal workers. He found the FBI office on an upper floor at the rear of the building and went home to adjust his explosive payload. When he decided to carry out the plan, McVeigh arrived, knowing that the first victims were going to be the children in the child care center. And he did not care. McVeigh was to become the most notorious American terrorist in our nation's history. A decorated combat veteran transformed into a racist killing machine when he made a conscious choice to build the bomb and kill as many of his fellow citizens as possible. But he was not always that way. He became radicalized through a book, a right-wing extremist blood fantasy called The Turner Diaries. The premise of the book was that an extremist white underground existed in the federal government and armed forces. They conspired to rid America of all other races and Jews. On the right signal, they would rise, steal the government's arms, and start a race war to cleanse America. That sign was the car bombing of the FBI headquarters in Washington, D.C. McVeigh and his fellow co-conspirators, Terry Nichols, Michael Fortier, and his wife, Lori, decided that they would start this race war. Timothy McVeigh was not the first extremist in American history radicalized by an obscure doctrine that believed in the superiority of the white race. Today, many Americans have taken up the call to mimic Nazi ideology, embrace the white power movement, or ride on the coattails of racist Southern secessionist recidivism. But McVeigh would be the one who put it into action. Christian Picciolini was one of those who once heard the siren's call and became drawn to this violent extremist movement. A member of the white power movement for nearly a decade, and as the leader of the Chicago area skinheads, Cash, he became seduced by a strident affirmation that the white race was the victim in America. He formed white power music groups who espoused that diversity and the strength of character by a man or woman who was not of the white race was akin to chiseling the foundation for an all-white America. He, like many other Americans, found new meaning in the words and actions of Adolf Hitler and the Nazis. Christian put his radical beliefs to a new form of political propaganda music called, quote, hate rock. With it, he brought in thousands of new followers. Yet he would eventually come to question himself and seek to break away from the hatred. Breaking Hate is a groundbreaking book. It reveals the depths of the modern white power extremist movement and illustrates how easily the children of good-hearted, proud Americans can become transformed and corrupted by the dark-hearted hatred of the alt-right and white nationalism. Christian now helps others leave violent and racist campaigns and helps them find their true heart and avert their eyes away from the darkness consuming their souls. He illustrates this through the stories of those who he has helped break free of the barrier of hatred they built around themselves. Breaking Hate is a sorrowfully necessary book for the dark period America has found itself in the age of their openly racist champion, President Donald Trump. Listening to these stories gives a poignant understanding of how law enforcement, government, or the average citizen have let